Hello, folks. Glad to have you in here. Not on the best form today, so we'll try and get as much of this done as we can. I do need some coffee. So we're back and sorting that out in a second. But do want to be here and saying hello. Hey, puppy. Good to see you. Let me see what's going on here. See whether we're properly live. That's that one. That's fine. No, that's the one we needed. Hey, good to see you, Montes. Hey, JDG Scatus Bass, good to see you. Appropriate day for you to be here. Why can't I go live on this one? Hey up. I haven't died in XCOM yet. Oh, nice. I'm pleased to know that I am not in fact dead. That is excellent news. Why am I not able to do this? So I'm trying to make sure we're going live on Anivia. And I am not currently doing so. I don't quite know why. Alex LEC, yeah, he's got LEC meetings today, so it's just me. I'm not feeling super great, all things said and done, actually. So we're going to try and do what we can here. But I've got NLC this evening as well, so we're at least going to get the first series done. If I'm in one piece, we'll do AL versus IG, because I think that's going to be a really cool series. But, yeah, not on my best form today, I'm afraid, guys. Not on my best form. Which is unfortunate, because this should be, theoretically... No, not the wrong thing. There you go. What's going on? We're getting, hopefully... There we go, I found it. It took a second for it to figure out whether it was connecting to things. There we go. That took a hot second. Good grief. Good grief, I say. All sorted there. Hey, Razuri, good to see you. Sam changed the title. Oh, you're right. I do need to change that. Apologies on that one, Rasuri. Good call. Hadn't realised that hadn't been changed. My bad. What is it first? BLG versus JDG. And then we've got AL versus IG. All sorts. I have that one there. I have this one over there. Right, I need to go get myself some coffee, so I'm good to go. And let me run some ads so we don't get them during the game, because that would suck. Both matches seem okay today. Seems a pretty good one. Yet to see action. Oh, wow, it's not good enough, huh? I see how it is, Brack. I see how it is. How rude. Okay, I need to get myself some coffee. So I'm going to turn the camera off briefly and we'll be right back. You only start making hype videos for these matches. Rasuri, I wish I had time. That would be awesome. But I'll be back in a second, dude. Don't worry. Just while I get some coffee.
观看2025英雄联盟职业联赛第3赛段，您可以通过英雄联盟客户端找上英雄联盟及英雄联盟赛事官网 LPL.QQ.com、虎牙直播、斗鱼直播、哔哩哔哩直播、咪咕视频、腾讯视频、腾讯体育、新浪微博、微信视频号进行收看。电视机前的召唤师可以通过百视通平台收看全程赛事。 嘿，来认识一下这位新队友，全新沉淀 CLA， 李宁英雄联盟泳池派对2025新品现已上市，上京东搜赛事预测，使用 AI 预测，助你赢1000元耳机。我在场就是主场，莫兹利安为 LPL 奶一口。 全新 OPPO Find X8 系列夜景人像神器，夜拍超清晰，人像 MVP。TCL 全屋智慧家电，峡谷英雄敢为不凡。2025 LPL 官方指定家电产品，更受电竞用户喜欢的能量饮料，有能量当然占马。傲风电竞椅连续5年中国电竞椅销量第1，开一局吗？开就开，保护有度度，尽情开一局。 感谢全场保护的杜蕾斯，酷睿 Ultra 200HX AI 高净游戏本，游戏本的6边形战士。
欢迎来到2025英雄联盟职业联赛第3赛段，本场比赛将在北京 JDG 主场进行，让我们有请双方对阵战队登场。 首先欢迎哔哩哔哩 Gaming Dream Smart， 上单冰，打野 Shadow， 中单 Knight， 下路 Elk， 辅助 O。 欢迎北京 JDG Esports， 上单小徐，打野勋。 中单 Scout， 下路 Haze， 辅助 Wink。LPL 第3赛段常规赛组内赛第4周第3日的第1场比赛 ，BLG 星际魅族对阵北京 JDG 即将开始 ，LPL 无畏进巅峰。
Well, that looks like players and teams to me. Hello, folks. Coffee. And a dream of better days. Where is Dad? I know, I'm sorry about that. I went out to get milk, never returned. Hello, folks. Headphones on. Gives a heads up on volume. You have to do some weird things to get volume to work. Because it's off a media sourcey thing. So I've got to interact with it and do all the things. So just so you're aware, the stream has the info from yesterday. Does it? That's awkward. Well, clearly didn't adjust things appropriately. That's my bad. But there you go. I love this music. Anyway, into draft we go. Stream title needs updating on Twitch. Does it now? Well, we're going into picks and bans, so I'll keep an eye on that in a second. Title. Oh, the go live. Yeah, the live notification was wrong, I think. That's fine. BLG versus JDG. That'll do. Okay. Who do I think's gonna win? I think at the minute, BLG, JDG have got some flaws going to them. The audience with vids and all those things. Same name, yeah. I think it's been sorted, Razuri. Double check for me. But it has at least an updated on my end. Anyway. I saw you trying to buy Mickey X Bathwater. Don't worry about it, Ruby. Finn's my supplier. It's all sorted. Project. There we go. That's better. I can see what's going on now. Right. So, Trundle first pick for BLG. Been seeing a lot more of that. Shadow very comfortable on it. Had an awkward game into Kanavi, but bluntly survived well enough that it was kind of fine. Yeah, I kind of agree, Cars. Or BLG very favourite here, especially on the current form they're in. They got the Galio to go with what might be an Ornn Locky. That's a very heavy front line. Galio, of course, got very good into the Rumble. Ornn would therefore be very weird. But you can merge the Galio with the Talia and have the global that way. I think they're going to do it. Wow, that's a beefcake front line for BLG. Okay, so Ornn loses gracefully into Rumble. You can actually get shove early and play off that from that one. Wukong locked in as well. Okay, so JDG, spike a little earlier, a lot more damage so far, but I've got to get through quite a nasty front line. Talia, Rumble, very, very strong right now. Very, very strong. Interesting that they've been given up. BLG are realistically going to need Elkon or Hyper carry them. Couple options for that. You could go towards something like the Lucian, which is not that for the record. But when you've already got the front line, you've got a lot of setup. You need to play for getting all of that CC and having Lucian blow someone up. A lot of mobility into Talia, Rumble, Wukong can be quite valuable. With the Rakan bouncing, they don't want the Xayah. Likely. Jinx is possible, but very punishable by Wukong. And therefore, Rumble and Talia. Oh, an okay-ish counter Rumble. Ornn loses gracefully into Rumble. Early on, Ornn can get shoved and try and go from there. Kai'Sa ban, sensible. Kai'Sa would have been a good option. Nymaera here. Scaling AD carry. I think she's going to suffer into Ornn and Galio. She doesn't have a lot of tools to manage that very well. Corki's not high damage enough, I don't think. You can join the Brawl really well, though. And with the Kai'Sa down, maybe that's the thought process. I actually think the Zeri might have been better here. The problem is if you do that, you then don't spike very early at all. Is Ornn going to do something weird here to give them some more damage? BLG very low damage here. Very low damage. The base... Okay. The base damages of Galio Ornn, one item or so, might be enough. But I fear that if Elk ends up being taken out of this game, BLG have no damage. They've got lots of front line. Lots of way to keep this Corki alive as he goes gallivanting into the back line. But JDG get ahead of curve. I don't know, man. I think BLG have got all in on the make sure Elk can do what the hell he wants comp. Renata here is pretty clutch. Pretty clutch. Lots of people who want to dive here. Galio, Trundle, Corki with a current play pattern, Rel, Ornn to an extent, right? They've effectively got 3.5 tanks here. Wukong actually quite good at managing tanks because Black Cleaver building is a thing. You know, I could go this Blade of the Ruin King build. We see it a fair amount until it will go the Liandry's build, probably. And then Rumble builds Liandry's as ever. Yeah, the Troll could do a lot of damage if he gets ahead. Yeah, I kind of agreed again. Like Trundle is deceptively a high damage carry if he gets the right option, but it's like his target access is not the most fantastic. But we shall see. Right, let me turn the camera off. And get ready for the game. It's not like Corki has range either. No, exactly. That's my worry. Isn't Scout like hella washed? He's been playing very up and down this split. He had a very bad playoffs last split as well, which wasn't fantastic. So there's been some negative press. JDG chance coming on in. Same with BLG, a little bit stronger today. Got a long-time chatter in Twitch saying, "Who said that Scout is washed? Come to me." They're over in Nivea's chat. We'll set up the boxing match after this. Long-time Scout enjoyer. Flash, crash down, pays. Gonna be okay, but does have to burn that cleansing flash. Wow, that was aggro from Ornn. Still, 3 summoners down. Ooh, pays. Have to play carefully there. That was a wild engage, to say the least. But potentially job done. He's got pods to work with. Pays for the one who took the hit. Elk still with the barrier. They can look to go very aggressively here at the level 2. Fortunately, Wink gets there first. Gets the handshake back. Crash down away. Elk's going to barrier. And all that early aggro doesn't quite work out and lead to the level 2 they needed. Need about another 2-3 minions. Ow. There's that level 2. Arc of Judgment comes on forwards and tags out briefly. Shadow coming on down. But he's on vision. Shun might look to come and invade on the red buff here. Oh, now this could get interesting. I don't actually know whether Shun wins this. Talir also roaming with the early priority. Another ward down. Yeah, Prio in mid, Prio in bot. Resets coming on through for bot. That's a red buff steal. Not a lot that can be done about it. And of course, Shun into his former team here. Would love to get the win. BLG for a very long time, and then there was all the off-season drama, and he wasn't there anymore. So, early game. Looking alright for JDG so far. Not led to any, like, crazy advantages off that, except for that red buff steal. Alkanon got to go reset. Pick up their first back. Not the best back ever, of course, because they've got refill pots versus longsword, but Scat Pays being down double summoners, particularly the flash, could be problematic yet. Especially if they can get on top of that Nymaera before the cleanse gets back on. Sound and visual aren't in sync. Sounds fine to me. I think it might be Nymaera's animations, but I'll try and listen in a bit more. For me, it's okay too. I'll keep an eye on it. Part of it, remember, is Nymaera's got weird animations. Think it's fine. I'll double check. I'll keep an eye on it. Still an issue, Kisei is having in chat. Okay, gonna try and get the mount up there onto Xiaoshu. Eats a fair amount of damage, being near to overheated. Doesn't have the most fun with that, has to be said. Two banger mashes there? Yeah, it should be. Right. Gold lead again, pretty even. Sorry, just checking some background stuff. Got to do tech admin on the side while we're doing that casting thing. Slightly towards, actually, the Corki early on here, but again, that's part of the lane swap shenanigans. You know, I think she'll be able to pick up a fair amount this way of the other side. Bin and Xiaoshu now back to laning against each other. Tier picked up for Elk. Gonna be on that Muramana at some point. Knight. I suspect we'll be going an AP Galio here. In the sense of Riftmaker and the likes. Don't think I might stay awake. LPL cost my sanity. It does that a bit sometimes, doesn't it? Looking for that knock-up. Couldn't quite get it. Nice idea there from Bin. Oh, gonna miss that last minion. Very sad. Early Merc Treads from the Galio. Makes sense. You're into Tillia and Rumble. Might want Hollow Radiance here if he does decide to tank. Pretty low damage if he goes full tank this game. Congrats for 10 watch streak, by the way. But yeah, agreed. He had those concerns in draft. Curious to see how Pays builds this Nymaera. Might be the Blade of the Ruin King build we've seen a bit of, but actually with the early pickaxe. Will not be, actually. He's got the longsword inventory too. That can still turn into a Vamp Scepter. $4:30 AM over here, but I'll do my best. My days. That's commitment. Hang on, knock up onto On. I think he's just dead here as the Cyclone. Gives an easy kill to Pace. The flash shot out from On. That's awkward. Nice angle from Shun. On towards the grubs we go. Shun should have those. And indeed does. And a bonk. The 4:30 over with you as well, Monty's. My days. It's commitment to the game. 1,000 gold lead for JDG is what you get to witness for it. Shadow gets the invader onto the blue buff. A crash into that turret, but Xiaoshu should be able to pick up most of it. There is that Vamp Scepter and recurve bow, so there you go. It is going to be that Blade of the Ruin King. Makes sense in the fact that you're going to have a lot of HP stackers. Trundle, Rel, Ornn and Galio, all on the higher end of the HP total scales. So that likely will be the build there for Pays on this Yunara. I've seen that a lot over in the LPL. Again, still struggling to find significant win rate here. We'll see exactly how it plays off. Wink goes looking for a handshake onto On. Can't quite find it. Oh dear. On hit by the seismic shove. Doesn't lead to too much more. Knight gonna get shoved back here. Hang on, Shadow's around the corner. Don't know about this. Shield of Durand. Yeah, I think Shun might be forced to Cyclone here. Pillar is... I'm gonna keep Shun around. Could reactivate the Cyclone, but of course, because that jungler's now mid, they can look at Pays, who's still got that ability to dash away with the untouchable Shadow. Does have to burn the ult, though, so transcends oneself. Heal on Wink as well. Ooh, hang on now. Some damage going in. On in danger. Goes get the exhaust on down, but they're going to jump onto Wink, who's still got the Balon on top of him. But there's no one really to kill as long as Elk stays safe. All the while, Trundle got onto the Wukong. Behind now, Xiaoshu coming on in. The Ignite basically onto Elk because of that Equalizer. To get that one right, flash on forward from Scout. Gets the kill with the threaded volley. Look at the under Xiaoshu. Flashes on out of the reactivation of the Call of the Forge God. Damage largely down. A 3v3. Bin going to try and charge away. All the while, Knight goes to the backline. Jumping onto Scout, who's tried to survive. Does go down. But all the while, Pays is free firing. And Xiaoshu gets the kill on Shadow. 4 for 3 in favor of JDG. On has respawned and walked back up here. Pays doesn't have any mana. Won't jump on him. I wondered with Knight around. Very rudely interrupts Xiaoshu's back. But out of that, Pays comes away 2-0-3 on this Yunara. It starts well enough for BLG. The pillar buys a bit of space. They're all quite low, though. Looking for that engage. And the Weaver's Wall comes on down. Scout hops off early. And Shadow's flashed over the wall and jumps on the jungler. It's all well and good. And then Wink gets the bailout on top of him. But it's a little bit too late. It's the flank from Xiaoshu that ends up turning things here. Because Elk gets caught behind Knight. So has to flash. And Scout just turns back up with the rock surfing. Flash on forward to secure the kill. And because Xiaoshu himself flashes, they don't get onto the rumble. They burned a lot of tools. Knight to the back of the plate at least picks up Scout. But unfortunately for them, they've still got the rumble and the Yunara pumping damage into them. Now the gold league expands by about 400 or 500. We're going to get the taunt. Now Scout in danger. Crash down over the wall. He is a very dead Talia, I think. The seismic shove buys some time. He can't get out of combat. And Weaver's Wall 2 seconds away. 2 seconds too long. Knight picks up another. Spectre's Cowl in inventory. I think he is going towards that Hollow Radiance here. Dark Seal and inventory, though, giving some value. Shun needs to be a bit wary here. Magnet Storm interrupted by the Cyclone. So ult for ult. So there is Knight getting this opportunity to shove on forwards. Does he have something like Demolish? No, he doesn't, but he has got a Trundle and a passive auto. I think this turret is just gone. We have got none of the grubs and don't give a damn is the answer. Lost 2 dragons, lost 3 grubs. No issue to a Trundle. First turret secured. On, though, according to this turret a little bit, as everyone from JDG turns up. Call of the Forge God summons. Sort of a wave clear ult. Pillar came on down. Didn't really get all that much, so an ult burned there, but it keeps that mid-tier 1 just about alive. Ooh, On needs to be a bit wary, as does Elk, actually. Should be okay-ish. It's donated the double wards. Another neutral objective going the way of JDG, though. This will be their 4th in a row. So, Herald and inventory. Dragon in a couple minutes would be sole point. I think with that turret in mid already chunked out, Herald dropped there quite aggressively. Go down pretty well, I think. Gold lead remains actually pretty much even. The difference, as we were kind of saying, is purely in these neutral objectives right now. Shadow picking up a couple kills has gotten him a decent lead over this Wukong, and he could be a bit of an X factor. Again, Knight as well. Scary on this Galio, actually. Early Hollow Radiance can be pretty obnoxious. Herald summons. Shadow going to try and pillar it. There we go. Nice interrupt on that. And the Herald gets nothing. Awkward there from JDG. Very awkward there. Herald value entirely mitigated. That was that was very unpretty, guys. Looking at Knight now. Xiaoshu is just clearing away. There's not too much to be seen. It's a bit quiet. Got 30 seconds till Dragon. Are they just going to try and look for this turret? They are. They're just going to say, screw that Dragon. This'll do. Knight's got TP. What does that get? Ooh, hang on. Elk eats quite a lot of damage there, actually. It wasn't his barrier. Where's that shield from? Lock it on. That's where it came from. Needs to be a bit wary about trading out too aggressively in mid there. Dragon spawning. Trundle coming on over. Knight resetting. Fiendish Codex in inventory. Pillar onto Wink. The Arc of Judgment comes on forward briefly. Couple wards here from JDG, meaning that they've got a lot of vision behind that wall. Seismic Shove immuned by Bin well there with the Bellows Breath. With a bit of a war zone right now. Pillar onto Scout. Call of the Forge God. Looking to pick up Scout, who's forced to flash away. Knight now in a back angle. Scout needs to be very careful how he approaches this fight now. The Call of the Forge God being down could be problematic. On. Holding Corp. In that banana bush. Xiaoxi looking to potentially catch him out. Won't quite find it. Dragon started. JDG coming on over. Shun can look to get on him with a Nimbus Strike. We'll have the Cyclone becoming a Smite by angle. Throwing up the Volcanic Rupture. Bin trying to keep people away. The Pillar down as well. Shun Also, there's the Weaver's Wall. Looking to go to the backline. On's there. Galio follow with the Hero's entrance. Equalizer comes on down. The hostile takeover also flying. They've lost on, but the damage back. Not that great, honestly, from BLG as yet. Dragon secured. Soul point. Shadow trying to turn around to subjugate. About to time on out. It's caught in the back of the pit. Does have flash and will use it. Gets out to safety. All the while Pace with that transcendent state available. Looks to put out the Arc of Ruin and get some damage onto Elk. Scout TPing back in. Looking for an angle. Elk forced to flash slow down by the Arc of Judgment. Knight just is punching away. And BLG just didn't have the damage and Shun wins the smite fight. Awkward. They go crashing on down. And like, that looks good to begin with, right? But the hostile takeover after means that Shadow ends up basically deleting his own teammate to an extent. They just can't have any damage. Crushing blow smite. Enough damage there. Shadow tries to stand and fight in the pit and can't. Has to flash out eventually. Now JDG, another objective. That time the team fight win. This is looking hard now for BLG. We said they might run into damage issues. But the crash down heroic entrance combo was nice, but the follow-up just couldn't get through because of the hostile takeover and the equalizer coming across. Now you got 2 items on Pace. Elk will have the transformation soon enough. Top side, Scout in danger, caught out of side lane. Oh dear, how many times have we seen that one? The side laning prowess of this character. Name Scout. Been in question the last little while. Is Shun potentially going to come up and contest? Pace is here as well. Oh, now this gets interesting. Bin has TP. Killer comes on down. Shun jumping on Shadow. Goes a subjugate rolling. Xiaoshu is there. I think Shadow's just a dead jungler. Atakan on the other side of the map at the very least. They'll get mid-tier 1 for that. So it ends up being a 1-for-1. Can JDG get this turret? I don't know if they can, actually. Bins are out. Yeah, they can't do it. And now On's behind. This gets a little interesting. Hang on. Pace needs to be careful about whether On wants to look at him there. Full tilt was burned. I think that might have been a ghost procced as well. Certainly had the Hex Splash come on in out of nowhere. Quality on the stream's funny. I'll double check in the break. It might just be that the Huya stream's kind of going on a bit funny. Might be that. But yeah, unfortunately, normally we'd have the clean feed, but clean feed isn't working today. Shouldn't be getting compressed too bad from our end in terms of where we're uploading, so apologies for that one, Ubikari. Lots of turrets to none right now for BLG. The problem is the team fights aren't getting any easier. Minute and a half till Dragon. You are going to have to bring down someone like Paze in good order, I think, or things get tricky. Trying to get onto Paze. Actually, decent chunk over to Wink, who's got a hostile takeover very awkwardly there. I think he's just a dead Renata. Equalizer back is okay. Looking to come on in with the hero's entrance, so gets a knock-up. Renata now dead. Man advantage for BLG. Reset coming in from Knight, who does have the TP to work with. Elk trying to threaten while he can because Paze is really low. Doesn't burn either summoner, though. That probably means Atakan. Maybe Dragon as well. Hey, Akashi, good to see you. It's fine, BLG always throws game 1s. Yeah, can do. It's in best of 5s normally. Well, historically, Atakan. That's not awful. Picks up about 15 odd petals. About 1,500 gold's worth of stats from that. Ooh, and looking. Scout's going to have to flash away from it. Mid-tier 1 was picked up. So JDG finally on the board in terms of the turrets. BLG also not been able to reset. Nymaera, 304 could still be a problem. Knight over the wall, looking for some Winds of War. Riftmaker completed now alongside a needlessly large rod. He's got a bit more damage to work with now, doesn't he? Thank you to the follow there. Might turn those off at some point, but here we are. Looking at the Dragon, Weaver's Wall comes on down. Not the best I've ever seen in my life. Hella's also there, Dragon down to half. JDG can afford to lose this one. BLG a lot harder. Last time came down to a smite fight and shouldn't want it. Handle it. On looking for a potential angle into the back line. Call the Forge God. Oh, that's a nice combo. Should try to survive, but for how much longer? Bailout comes on down. Dragon secured. He is dead. Dragon and kill for now. Pace looks to go on forwards. Will untouchable shot. Oh my days, the damage back. Winds of War plus Foss Bomb costs him 2/3 of his health bar. Can't find what he's looking for in the end of it, Compays. Excuse me. Call the Forge God comes on through. Equalizer comes on down. And all the while, Shun gets caught between a rock and a Galio place. And that combo there. Ooh. Ooh. Bucket of fried chicken from Knight. And Nymaera clearly intolerant. Ugh. Outside of her diet range, can't keep her abs up if that's happening. Hey, Fiddleston. Nice to have you in here, but just a heads up. If you don't mind, keep it to English just because it's easier for us to moderate. Pleasure for us to be here. Or for you to be here. We like having you here. But it is just easy to moderate in English. That's for Twitch specifically. Scout equals Bulldog. That's hilarious. I don't know if that's entirely fair. I think Bulldog, for one, is a lot younger player. Be healthy, don't go. Oh, that was very sweet of you. Thank you. I'd like not to as well. I've got to cast NLC this evening. Got playoffs. Very nice thoughts. Looking after my health in chat, folks. So, game state's a bit odd now. BLG have actually managed to come into this one all right. All items coming on through. I also feel like Knight, at this point, does have a fair amount of damage to him. With the Dark Seal stacks, with the NLR, with this Riftmaker, Hollow Radiance in the extended fights as well. Pretty scary. I think he's kind of deceptively annoying here. As honestly as this Trundle. 3 items on Elk. They're going to need the Baron in the next 5 minutes, or I think the scaling is once again going to come on through and things get trickier again. Did see a discussion in chat as well about, like, are people just testing out Nymaera as the pick actually good? It's not got a great win rate as yet. But Yorick was in the same position, remember. I think part of it is people figuring out how to play around there. And part of it, Nymaera's in this really weird space where she's a little bit like Zeri in terms of being quite ult-reliant for team fights. She's a bit Sivir-like without ease of access to through the front line. She doesn't have a lot of sustain. Her safety is her E, but if she's using her E defensively, it's not fantastic to get back later. She's a solid 3-item carry, but she's not... I'm not sure yet what she's bringing that other 3-item carries aren't. Say, in a lot of ways, I would normally prefer a Sivir or a Kai'Sa, I think. Yeah, exactly. I'm not as sure on what the win con for Yunara is. Don't get me wrong. She does great AoE. She seems to have a relatively flexible build path, so her damage profile is quite nicely mixed. Like, she's got strengths to her, but I think when she's supposed to be a teamfight AD carry and is often struggling to actually stay safe in teamfights, it's been a problem. Uzi just opened up a sandwich shop? What? That's cool. Does he sell hot dogs? Hey, Simi, good to see you. And does Paige know how to speak Mandarin? Allegedly, no. So the rumors go, Makeout Hill. Also, great name. Very entertaining. One of the issues that JDG have been running into is Ruler didn't talk, didn't communicate, didn't need to. He would just do these crazy things. That massive, crazy Zeri pentakill, Zeri quadrikill in like 23 with the Zeri Yumi. That was just him doing it. Paige, generally speaking, wants to be involved in comms a bit more, needs a bit more direction. And that's been really hard because Scout is the one who's having to translate everything on the fly. And that's basically led to some awkward comms from JDG. It's partly why allegedly they've been looking a little bit out of sorts. See how it plays. Like, I actually think Paige has largely been playing quite well across the year. But JDG on the whole look a lot less coordinated. And allegedly that's the reason why. BLG got another dragon. Got a turret as well. Or looking at it certainly in the bot side. JDG really struggling to actually find a way back into the game, having seemingly been in a great spot. Yeah, I honestly, Purcurium, I'm in a very similar position to you. She gives off secretly fine, but no one's figured her out yet vibes. I kind of agree. Thank you for the follow. Oh, my days. About 50 followers. 50 followers off 9K, guys, on Twitch. Just set up a little thing in the dashboard to say, to keep that as a bit of a goal. Thank you, follower 8,949. One to Saskia. Saskia. 3,500 gold. Ben just upgraded Shadow's Spirit Visage. Maybe item placement? Yeah, I mean, like, Trinity Force would seem like the sensible one. On the other hand, the healing might be nice as a front line, but it feels likely to be a mistake. On's going to crash on down over the wall. Flash away TP coming on forwards. Weaver's wall down. On, now potentially still in danger. Equalizer and Redemption both thrown out. Elk getting away from the hostile takeover. They've killed off the Rel. Shadow also low. BLG on the retreat. Baron's up and they're down a member. And their jungler also low. Shun trying to get in range, but the Frozen Domain will buy some space. Pace unleashing as he transcend once more, throwing out the Arc of Ruin, but Pace in turn eats a lot of damage. Ow. Man, this Yunara is really struggling to deal damage without it having that punch back come at them. Really strong, even with a little bit of lifesteal from the Blade of the Ruin King. I increasingly wonder whether she needs a healer behind her. Riftmaker just got done for Shower Shoot. The triple mask build complete. Another breakpoint for this Rumble. Infinity Edge just done for Yunara. That gets her towards 75% crit. Oh my days. Looking like a bloodthirster for Elk, interestingly. I can sort of see it. If Yunara can't heal, it makes it a lot harder. Exhaustion went down into Shadow. Baron dance continues. It's going to get towards the late game here, folks. Pillar on the wall. Wind becomes lightning. Call of the Forge God. Does get a knock up onto that Rumble, who just gets taunted afterwards. Flashes away. Hostile takeover. Tags up Bin briefly. Shadow, though, in the backline. Heroic entrance. Doesn't keep him alive. Oh, that's the clone, guys. Shun gets on back. Equalizer on down. They killed off Shadow. They tried to re-engage with the hero's entrance. He got burned down before he was useful. Oh, dear. Does that just give free soul over? Shadow could be dead for 40 seconds. TP back. 30 seconds on Dragon. Baron up. JDG in the river first. Nymaera now going to be doing a lot of damage. But again, we've seen the range issues. If you can put the damage into Pays, yeah, it's going to suck. Shadow back, running over with the frozen domain of the Deadman. He is pretty speedy. On crashes on down. Part of the problem the last play towards that top side was on kind of getting caught out by some of the TPs. Pillar. Just wide. Dragon started up. JDG aggro it. Banana Bush being fought over. 6k on the Dragon. Shadow stepping on forwards. Call of the Forge God. Hand shook out of it. Equalizer on the Dragon onto the back of the pit. He's going to crash on down. You have the Renata dead though. Backline goes Bin. Looking to get into the pit. On with the locket shield. Dragon secured. Soul secured by JDG. Nymaera now free firing. Has transcended themselves and begun to ensure the cultivation of spirit is running. Shun flashes back on out. It's a 1-for-1, but the Dragon is the big win. Elk looking for more. It's the clone he finds, not the resetting Wukong. Oh, please. Who are you? Not like this. Oh. Reloading. Fine, we're back. Phew. Not a problem. It'll skip a little bit here just while it reloads. There we go. Here's our replay. So the Call of the Forge God interrupted by the handshake is massive. Especially as On goes in on that timing. Think he's going to have a Call of the Forge God to work with and does not. Weaver's Wall keeps Shadow out of the pit. Doesn't have Flash. And so, can try and get on over. Just not quite in time. And Shun gets the smite fight, and they pick off the Ornn as a result. 1-for-1 at that point. And Shun has to flash on out. It was a little bit too deep there. Gold lead to BLG, but how much does that matter at this stage in the game? Cloud Soul to JDG. Really good on Nymaera. Really good on Wukong. Pretty damn fine on the Rumble as well. Bloodthirster just got done for Elk. Maybe that's what you need. But again, there's been some discussions about Corki's win rate over time being genuinely the worst in all AD carries. The later the game goes, the harder it is for Corki to get the damage down without being forced off by someone. Baron being started here by BLG. They know what's going on. They want the fight. They want JDG to come into the Pays. Has now got a GA. Killing this Nymaera got a lot harder suddenly. Down to 6k HP. Where is Shun? Looking to potentially find an angle in. On the flank. Gonna get jumped on by Xiaoshu. Weaver's Wall comes across from Scout. Hostile takeover. Lands only onto Bin, really. Into the pit. Shadow low. Gets a big heal. Baron stolen by Shun. Down goes the Trundle. Troll dead. Bin trying to run. He's going to Bellow's Breath for a little bit of a moment, but it's a triple kill to Pays, who goes hunting for a little bit more. But it's Xiaoxu who picks up the Ornn. Knight in the mid lane, desperately trying to clear the wave. Will do so. Blows up Scout on the way. He's got a death cap, does Knight. But I don't think it leads to all that much more. We'll go golden. Give another path of another Winds of War. Does hold the wave for a little while. Don't think it's going to save the game, though. 30 seconds. He's buying a Medjai's by Goat Knight. 20 seconds on Shadow. 10 on Ornn. 20 on Elk. They're going to careen through mid. And these turrets do not look long for the world. Ornn is here. But the Nexus turret to the Nexus itself is not. JDG, it's a weird old game. But game one, nonetheless, is this. Well, well, well. Hello, folks. Glad to have you in here. Now we're here. Let's see if we can see if we can up the quality a bit here. I don't know whether I can. We'll try. About as good as it gets, apparently. Not looking good there. Can we get that one? We can! There we go. Boom. Whoops. That's the one we need. Beautiful. Quality up. First Yunara win, I'm not very convinced. That's my issue with Yunara right now. Is it kind of feels like, and I had this conversation with Alex, and Alex pointed this out, and I think I agree. It kind of feels like Yunara could be replaced with any other 3-item carry, and you'd likely get the same results from the same game states. Now, it's not bad to have another champion that can fit into that. But I don't actually know what she's bringing that makes her special in these comps, if you know what I mean. Yeah, we got the feed from Huya today because we don't have a clean feed. Clean feed's not working today for whatever reason. And therefore, we are on Huya. Is Alex at LEC meetings today? Yes, he is. It was just me. I've got NLC this evening, and my voice is feeling a bit off, and I'm in general feeling a little bit off. So I'm going to try and at least get this series done. Bear with me, folks. If I come to the end of the series and just going, look, I'm sorry, I've got to call it, then that might be where we're at. Because solo casting's a bit, and I don't know, I'm having a rough couple days, not going to lie. So doing my best to be here and bringing you the content. But it ain't been my best couple days. Less or more off than on today, Sam. Well, that's it, isn't it? But Huya is one of the official sites the LPL is streamed on. But at the very least, I'll get this series done, hopefully. I'm afraid BLG will take us to game 3. They might do. They might do. Weird game. Weird game. BLG managed to pick up some turrets, but the fact that they kind of got stiffed early on in terms of the objectives and didn't really have any damage before the objective stacking came on through, meant that when they actually did want to push their advantages, they were doing it too late and the scaling came on through. And we already said, look, actually kind of worried about BLG's damage profile here. The moment Pei's got Infinity Edge and, you know, you're looking at Scout and Xiaoxu with enough items as well, it was like, yeah, okay, you don't win these. And then also 2-1 smite fights by Shun. Gets the Baron, gets the soul fight. Shun into his old team. Good smite. We love a good Shun game. Hell yeah. Into his former team as well. Got to feel good doing that in a BLG, doesn't it? All right, folks. I'm going to run some ads. I'm going to disappear a bit to get some coffee and just make sure my voice is okay. So I'll be back for next game at the very least. But just be advised. The camera may be disappearing while I investigate extra coffee and all those things. See you in a minute or so, guys. What a surprise. Shun gets MVP.
好久不见。
关闭车窗，空调调到22度。
好的，都搞定了。你好，很高兴我们重新认识。
把生活玩出新意，
自由自在，灵感随行。
用个性的方式画世界，
让眼界突破边界，
让远在天边，近在眼前，
让每一刻精彩不再等待。
上京东搜赛事预测，使用 AI 预测，助你赢1000元耳机。
京东。
All right, guys, back. Coffee secured. IRL stuff done. Game 2 is here. Hello. Let's have a look at where we're at, shall we? Oh, right. So, Azir, Nico, Kai'Sa for BLG. The Azir is weird. Knight is a fine Azir. Fine. But fine is not great. And generally, we expect great out of Knight. Just ban on the side. Pantheon, Varus. Yeah, I don't want to get that up. Gwen also would have been scary, especially with the Rumble down. And Scout's just going to pick up the BLG tech in the Ziggs. Is Scout prepped? Actually, with the Xayah in, I was wondering, because of course, Paige was once upon a time a big Ziggs player. If there was anybody on your team to teach you how to play Ziggs, Paige would do it. On does get his Nico. Had a very good win rate on that, wasn't he? He was practically undefeated until... When did he start? When did he lose his first game on it? Was it internationally? I think it was internationally at MSI. Kai'Sa for Elk, though, would still be scary. Can threaten the Ziggs better than most, much like the Ezreal. Your distance means very little to her. If she can just ult to where you are and then supercharge to follow your dash. And her Q will follow you even if you do dash. So there is that one as well. Ambassador Sion. It's top lane focus, fair. Been to put a lot more time into the Ambassador of late. Get hydrated, idiot. Yeah, that's what I'm done. Amino assists on has? Not sure. Honestly, probably best having a look back. Scrolling back on the YouTube, probably your best bet, honestly. Jarvan ban. Yeah, Shun is a big Jarvan player when you've already got the Ziggs in. The shot glass combo of Ziggs bomb plus Cataclysm could be pretty obnoxious. Instead, they'll go towards the Skarner. Well, we've got Rakan. It's very good with Ziggs, again, because it holds people into the center of the bomb, which can be very strong. You could just Sejuani Renekton here. Sejuani Jax. I suppose another option. The Sejuani Renekton, I think, makes some sense. Melee topside. Sante, if you want that tank front line. The Renekton gives you a bit more early power, though. Yeah, okay, and there's the Renekton. More like it, I think. What do we do topside now? Sante a consideration. There we go. They're picking up themselves. Big front line for JDG. Big front line for JDG. So, zone control from JDG is very strong this game. In the minefield and the feathers, Rakan, Skarner, and K'Sante all kind of keeping the way shut. Not that easy for BLG necessarily to get onto the key targets they want freely. On the other side, BLG, the single target pick and follow-up very strong. Sejuani ult, Renekton and stun. Nico ult, Kai'Sa flying in, Azir flying in for a shuffle. Can be very dangerous. And if Paze ever is down his ult, or Scout is ever out of position, very tricky. They are going to have to find some big wombo combos, because if it goes wrong, I think they can end up in a lot of trouble. Fun fact from Hey Now You See. Require. Xana can do a lot of damage too. The more I look at this, the more I think I quite like JDG's draft. Not that BLG have got a bad draft. It's only a slight edge. And Elk on that Kai'Sa in particular, we've seen how damn good he can be. Could be very nice. I've got to think about this fun fact. Let me quickly... What am I trying to do? Ah, you need to turn the camera. Where's the camera? This is the camera. Goodbye. Beautiful. Head on to the ref. JDG skybox up there. Let's listen to those gyros. Get ready for the second game. The Jing Jong chant leader away from the crowd mics today. You can hear him just echoing from the other side of the arena. Great acoustics in the JDG stadium. Okay, so early level 1 from JDG, looking to get in here, get some wards down. Shadow's gone for the spellbook on the Szechuan. You can do this. Into the Skarner as well early. Unlikely to get invaded, so I think you can get away with it a bit more freely. Of course, does theoretically mean you can be a bit more vulnerable to damage. You don't have the Aftershock or whatever to work with. BLG, I think, are going to be quite reliant on good flanks here. Good picks. If the Nico comes in from a crazy angle, the Renekton comes in for a crazy angle, the Szechuani lands a good ult, fights are playable. But if JDG manage vision control well and keep Scout and Paze safe from the CC, or make it at the very least that BLG have to really overreach to get it, things get trickier. Level 1 though. Nico fighting for that lane control and should get it there. Burns the heal for the ignite. Electrocute, by the way, on Wink. Electrocute Rakan for lane. No spellbook here. I don't know this tech on Rakan. In fact, you know what? I'm going to DM Medic, see whether he knows what's going on. I'll message Alex as well. See whether he knows. Why does Skarner take Grasp instead of Aftershock? It's got very good synergies with Heartsteel. And Aftershock is probably better tanking, but basically means your burst is a little higher with Grasp. And you scale off HP. Like, everything in Skarner's kit scales off HP. Scout? Hang on. Just got caught recalling. I don't think it was going to turn into all that much, but I think he might just die here. Oh, this is bloody awkward. Oh, dear. Now looking to come on over, and I think I'm just going to have to leave that. That was exceptionally poor. Right, I got word back from Nymaera. No, absolutely not, was the answer about Rakan with the Electrocute. So, I don't know what Wink is cooking, but we have an Electrocute Rakan. Xiaoshu will path make a bin briefly. Shun's coming on down here, still level 3. Bin's going to flash over the Ixtal's impact. Slices, dices, doesn't have his own flash to work with. Needs to be a bit wary here. He's got a lot of passive stacking. Pathmaker into the auto. And all the flashes and dashes in the world is not enough to keep Bin alive there. Ooh, there's this replay. Yeah, Scout tries to get over the wall. He's waiting on his satchel cooldown. Doesn't have it. Very awkward. I need to get a screenshot of this Electrocute Rakan. I have not seen it before. Does anyone know anything about Electrocute Rakan? I'm assuming you get decent chunk trades with it. Just like... Auto Grand Entrance Gleaming Quill. I don't actually know, though. Trading right now from BLG, whose bot lane in particular have been farming very well here. Pays and Wink down a lot. Oh boy. I think Pays just in a lot of danger. Hang on. Cannon minion from on. Mega Inferno bomb. Shadow jumps away. Turret shots well tanked by that cannon minion transformation. And they get the second. Superb dive from BLG.
You're the greatest already.
Thank you, Joe, for the sub.
Captain Flowers 22. They have given full gift subs in the channel.
Very nice. I need to make sure we've got the text-to-speech perhaps turned off on that. That's fine. Appreciate you, Duo. Well then, bot side play still continuing. Time for game 3. Yeah, it does feel like it, doesn't it? Does feel like it. Okay, fight goes on. Oh, just got eviscerated. Okay, goodbye. Busy making tweets about Electrocute Rakan. Why are you fighting? Bin sidesteps the impale. Shun can't find the angle. Early 1500 gold lead. Largely in bot lane. Yeesh. When am I going to initialize your when am I going to initialize your cast? Who knows? Who knows, Duo? One day in the future. Hey, Strufficase, good to see you. Oh, a bit of an invade here onto Shun. Knight's coming up as well with a priority. Ziggs has ult. Make this a bit spicy. Spike Bite is won by Shun. Shun, though, is likely going to die here regardless. Can he drive through a wall? No, he can't. He's dead. Red buff successfully transferred. Man, BLG beginning to run away with this one. No one's taken any objectives, by the way. No dragons, no grubs, no nothing. BLG now looking at Xiaoshu briefly, who will Pathmaker to get towards the turret. To Void Seek, not too much more. Of course, the guys going towards the Kraken Slayer build just is the way to do it right now with the Kraken Slayer buffs. Shadow now over the wall. Shadow gonna get that Pathmaker taken forwards on. Back towards Nico form. Passive still available to be stacked. Does now come on through his ult. Takes a great opportunity to jump on forwards. Turret doesn't kill Shadow. Another very good dive there. And that's going to be turret as well. Now Kaiser's job in teamfights gets a lot easier. Ben's just jumping on pace. TP behind. Featherstorm comes on down. Feather Pull gets the root. TP comes on in from double. Shadow and Azir. Now Wink potentially in danger. I think he's just dead. Spellbook teleport, baby. By the way, BLG can literally run 4 TPs this game. 100% win rate with first turret. Up 4,000 gold. Yeah, this one's looking a bit doomed, folks. Was game 1 close? Oh, with not really outside of a slight gold lead from BLG. JDG just won all the objectives. And BLG drafted a very low damage comp and didn't really get to snowball properly. Hey, Foxy, good to see you. One awful game from JDG. Yeah, it's not been pretty. Scout getting caught mid has turned into a horrible situation for Shun. Pays and Wink have been slammed by Elkanon. Really good dives from Shadow. Shadow's been all over the place this map.
You're the greatest.
Hey, no mistakes to make. Thank you for the subscription.
Dual Maiden gifted a tier 1 sub to LPL.
To the LPL. Wow. We love it. Good timing here as Shadow's going to step on forwards. I think he's going to have to go all out. Flashes away. Does he get enough space with the footwork? Bim flashing on forwards means this is just likely an easy kill, and it is exactly that. Electrocute and Rakan feels weird. We've been having that conversation. Yeah. Purely a lane thing. Maybe it's a way to manage the Nico in lane. It might make some sense. Alright. Dragon, Grubs. First turret. Elk, Giga fed. Bin, having a great time. This is kind of doomed, I think, folks, for JDG. BLG, much better game 2. Hayes is a very dead bird. Oh, wow, that's miserable. Towards the turret we go. Okay, Shun. Should be okay. Gets himself a Heartsteel proc. So does Shadow. Flashes on out. Still got a Permafrost on him. Oh, he was driving. Glacial Prison comes on down. Shun is going to have a horrible time. Misses the Impale. Dies. Shadow flashes on out. Shashi tries to get Bin all out. And unfortunately, will likely go down. Wink into the backline. Tries to find some value. Pays with a good angle. The feathers pulled. But on with the Nico ult. Trying to fire. Is Pays. Goes down. There's just not enough damage. Oh, man, if the front line could just survive, might be easier. Elk not here. Scout will not survive much longer in a triple kill tonight. Man, Shun just could not catch a break there. Impale flashed away from. Elk was getting tier 1 bot side. This is a 5v4, by the way. Pace turns... I genuinely thought Pace was about to have a phenomenal angle, but gets caught in the Pot Blossom at the back end of it. Gets blasted as a result. Scout's forced to flash away from Bin. And at that point, BLG, having won the other side of the fight, can just collapse on the Yordle anyway. Oh. Audio's back. That was weird. They cut to cam feed and had no audio. And of course, Knight's got a Medjai's. Of course he does. By the book. Herald's coming up. Go next angle does feel a bit that way. So, JDG down 11 kills, 10,000 gold at 17 minutes. They try and drive onto Elk, who doesn't really care at all. Gonna lose a second dragon here. 105 hearts still stacked to 17, by the way, in the jungle. 100% kill participation for Shadow. He's been all over the map. Really good Sejuani game from him. Herald now summoned bot side. I mean, I think for JDG, it's get 2 items and pray, really. Until that point, it's pretty much done. 86% chance to win. Yeah, that seems about right. I think in pro level, it's more like 95. But hey, here we are. Okay, Herald actually does get smote out. Shadow, though, doesn't seem to care that much. Quickness comes on down. Mega Inferno Bomber. They do kill him. Okay, a little too far there. That's not bad. Well, who's ever going to start? A kill there for Pays might be the best of it. But look at those gold leads, man. 3,500 gold to Elk. 1,600 gold in the jungle. 2k in mid. 1,300 for the Nico. Which matters when Nico wants AP items. Shadow had been deathless until he tried to get the Herald charge in the mid lane and got smote out of it and felt a bit awkward. Did have flash, didn't want to burn it. Scout looking at... I'm assuming a Leandry second. I suppose it could be a Bloodletter's Curse. It could be the Riftmaker. I don't think Riftmaker on Zig's very good, though. Bloodletter's Curse I could see. Void Seeker goes looking. Gonna try and drive through the wall. Shun gets stunned up. Zones off the flanking angle, but the turret still just goes down. Sundisk is up. 5th turret for JDG, who've got nothing on the other side. They got a single turret in mid lane. Outside of the base, that's it. Scout. Just going to try and get this last couple bits down. Pop. Nice work. Finally gets themselves a turret. Need it. Any bounty is a good bounty right now. Can afford to give up this dragon, honestly. I just checked the petal count as well. 50 petals to 8. Atakan giving them a lot of extra. That's about 4,000 extra gold of stats and XP. I mean, good grief. I blinked and missed on that one. Good lord. What Kai'Sa skin is this? This is the Uzi Kai'Sa skin from the Hall of Fame Battle Pass. Third item done. Pays force to cleanse. Shun trying to find a flank angle. Does manage to drive through the wall this time. 5 seconds on Dragon. Sole point for BLG, which I just don't think JDG want to fight. I just don't see it. Yeah, you don't trade this. I think you try and get a flip around Baron. If you can steal Baron, maybe then you got an angle. You've got flash drive on Shun. 3 minutes until that one spawns anyway. Just stall as much as you can. Feed as much gold as you can into this Xayah, into this Ziggs. The fact that Kai'Sa is up 80 CS, that's a problem. This one has been absolutely devastating. Wint goes into the backline, tries to battle dance ground entrance from miles away. Can't get onto anyone. Combo down. That means this mid lane tier 2. Probably going to fall pretty shortly. It's Nico pretending to be something else. That's the sound of the pigeon. Sejuani over the wall. Goodbye, Scout. Nice work from Shadow. Shun drives Bin into a wall briefly, but doesn't really get that much value. Caught in the gates. Permafrost comes on down. Or might well shortly. Bin's still in here. Tier 2 falling. Nice angle there from Scout. Sorry, onto Scout from Shadow. Gonna continue trading a little bit here. I think it's also, yeah, it's on in the form of Azir. That's the pigeon noise. On, looking for the pop blossom, gets it onto 2. Dance away from Wink. Trying to pull some damage. The Impale lands on a Shadow. Not the easiest target. Sorry, the kill down, though, at this point. Elk, forward stepping. Supercharge away inhibitor in top lane. Falls. Scout respawn. Pace doesn't get hit by the Void Seeker. Baron, 20 seconds or so. Reset from BLG, and I think they might just turn up there on spawn and force JDG to fight. Shun, maybe in danger here. Glacial Prison, kind of catching me stuck on the other side of the wall. He's a dead man. Jungler's down. There's no spellbook smite to be found. That's looking like, I suspect, a very free Baron. Pretty much on spawn. Oh, Pays immediately ults and Elk doesn't care. Had to feather storm the wrong direction. Just drive into the wall. Cleanse out. Trying to get knocked up. Oh, Elk. Oh, Elk. No, 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 no. Oops. Nearly got Pays, but, So now in the 5v4, the JDG have enough to withstand this Baron. I don't think it changes all that much. But I still think, okay. Yeah, no, the base is still falling. Elk being dead is one thing, but he earned Pays' summoners. And therefore, how does he stand and fight? Glacial Prison comes on in. Wink at the backside, tries to get to the backline. Pop Blossom comes on forwards. Knight Flash ults away the damage. Xiao tries to go to top of Knight, but he's going to get shunted by Shadow. Shunt stunned up. Who needs an AD carry? We're going to the Nexus, baby! 3 games for BLG versus JDG as they absolutely eviscerate the hometown squad in one of the most brutal demolitions I've seen in a very long time. 10k gold lead at 17 minutes, and they did not look back once. Elk certainly didn't take his foot off the accelerator pedal, did he? Maybe a little bit too much at the end there, but you know what? We've all got to do a little trolling at some points. Wow. That was fun. But BLG just kind of smacked him. Don't know what else to say. Shadow getting the MVP vote right now. I think he should probably get it. 100% KP was all over the place. The early gank onto Scout screwed him up. Multiple great dives to get Elk ahead of curve. Good stuff. Scout game 3 spike. Yeah. Man, that'll be a thing. He's had a bad series so far as Scout, I think. They really weren't from the moment Scout found the jungle game was BLG's favor. Yeah, basically. It was pretty one-sided at that point. It really was. Wonder what game 3 will bring after these two? Who the hell knows at this point? Yeah! You know what? I came into saying Knight's Azir is fine. He actually had a very good Azir game on the whole. Didn't do anything super flashy. But did a lot of damage, and that's what you ask of the guy. I mean, 100% KP. Especially because actually, look, he was involved, like, everyone else wasn't that involved, right? Like, Bin's at 42%. Elk's at 32%. Your mid supporter at 68%. That just says he was all over the place, basically. Really nice turret dive from BLG here. I'm so surprised we didn't see more of the cannon tech from Nico when she was at her most oppressive. But no. Okay, so I have actually now had word from Medic and Molecule about the electrocute thing. A Medic basically says, look, as far as he's concerned, Unsealed Guardian is stronger, but it's basically purely for aggro in lane. And again, I think he went like Scorch this game as well. So Molecule was like, yeah, it's just for level 1, 2, 3 flip. It doesn't quite work. It does give you access to the domination tree, which does feel really good on supports, which he did say out. And actually, if you can then look at things like Ultimate Hunter and that kind of thing as well, which gives you a lot there as well. So like, there are some reasons to do it. They didn't work out in this game, big time. Because yeah, Molecule say you can flip all in with Zyra Khan, but just the tree is nice for sports. Underused since you don't normally do Resolve plus Domination. Guardian is just ass. So Domination plus Resolve works, so you get second win and whatever anyways. Can Sam play Electrocute Rakan in rank, please? I'd rather not do that to my teammates. Rakan was not the issue of their game. Yeah, kind of agreed. Although, didn't really find all that much. Yeah, this game, it wasn't really on individuals, you know. The game went very, very wrong, and JDG just couldn't stabilize at all after the early game. But the laning phase was just bad. Bad laning phase. Here's our MVP. Shadow, 100% KP. Good game from him. All right, I'm gonna run some ads, guys. I'm gonna turn the camera off, and I will be back for next game. Just gonna make sure I kind of look after myself because I'm not feeling fantastic today. So the camera is still here, and I wave, but I will be leaving briefly.
是暗夜的猎手，更是夜拍的高手。OPPO Find X8 系列夜景人像神器，夜拍超清晰人像 MVP。
TCL X11H 领耀 QD Mini LED 电视，纯净画质，细节尽显，细腻光影，丰富明暗细节，典藏级影像体验。TCL
红冠战马。
更受中国电竞用户喜欢的能量饮料，更受年轻人喜欢的中国能量饮料。中国电竞，当然有我，有能量，当然战马。
我状态火热的原因，我感觉就是我们现在的操作都很在线嘛，然后就是我们的思路很清晰，然后我感觉我们做得好的方面就是，就算处于劣势，我们也能找到机会去翻盘吧。新版本其实我们还是没有玩太多嘛，然后我们会去紧急的去了解一下新版本嘛，然后应该野区的改动的话，应该就是攀升被小削了一点嘛。但我感觉不会太影响。我感觉作为老选手，最重要的就是保持初心嘛，然后就是希望不要退步，然后天天能学到新东西吧。
Hello, hello, Trend Backpack. I'm unfortunately no Nymaera today. It is only I, Initialise. Alex has LEC meetings today. It is only I. Reverse sweep, you reckon, Mike? I can see it. Go next angle for JDG. It was a bit of a go next angle for JDG. Hey, Harold. Hey, Amber. Ready for our game number 3. Hey, hey. Unfortunately, I am Sam. Alex, who would normally be here, is at LEC meetings. He's got LEC this weekend, which means I am here. Ready for our next game. Ooh, feeling a little bit off today, not gonna lie. Doing my best to keep the energy up. Hello, one and all. So, game 3 on the boards. Can't be that easy to boat. So it's normally fine. I'm just a little bit fried today, not gonna lie. So, Gwen, Annie, Poppy off the board. Probably wise. Varus, Pantheon. Yeah, I don't want to give those over. The Karma's an interesting one. Very interesting one, but it basically denies Ezreal Karma kind of style lanes. Aurora then becomes the first pick. Interesting. It's strong right now. Has a lot of good matchups. We're down the Azir, the Ziggs, the Talia. Even things like that. Galio's seen a little bit of into the Aurora. Not that many good options. I think at this point, Orianna probably is a consideration. Shinzao Orianna might be the way forwards. Maybe it is the Orianna. I mean, the thing is, you don't actually have to Ori here. You can Braum, okay. That is implying a potential Lucian angle here as well. Could be very strong here in this draft already. Is it Vi time? Shun is a decent Vi, in fairness. Even when things were looking dicey for BLG last year, and when JDG were looking a bit lost, the Vi was a crutch. Pretty decent with the Aurora. You will always have a way to get to whoever you're ulting as Vi. And best set. Okay. Cease and deceased combo. And there's the Lucian we said was being telegraphed. That's the one. Prophesied. At this point, JDG, you're probably banning out some Knight champions here. I think the Orianna becomes incredibly valuable to ban. Don't give that over. Last of the big AP mages in mid lane that has been super played. Victor might also be a ban then as well. Victor, Ori, I think might be my bans here. Unless you want to stop something like an Akali angle, which could theoretically pair up with the Shinzao quite well. Instead, they're deciding, look, whatever Knight's going to go, not as bothered, but aside from managing good matchups into this Ambessa, who was blind picked, to be fair. So actually not the worst idea. I think Sion tends to have a fairly decent match with the Ambessa early. Later on gets better. Renekton's already down. Ornn's already down. Yorick might be a ban then. This might be the Yorick angle then. They're getting rid of the double hyperscalers. Smolder's still up, worth noting. Pays might Smolder here. The Senna's more annoying for the Lucian to manage, basically, because every time he tries to go to kill someone, you get shielded by Dawning Shadow, and Piercing Darkness heals people back up. Hey, Zeri goes hard here. I can see it. Yeah, with the Vi, the Aurora, you can go in that way. And there's the Victor ban. Okay, so they're getting rid of the Battle Mage option. This is just a very easy Orianna then, no? Unless Knight's got something really spicy planned. He could rise. Silas isn't awful here either, actually, to be honest. Aurora ult, Vi ult, and best ult would have been good. But yeah, there's the Orianna. Kind of expected that. Okay, pays Phalios. Alistair, Thresh, maybe a Lulu, but I think he would have lacked some frontline there. I think the Alistair probably not a bad way to keep him alive. Your level 1 is going to suck down in bot lane, but hopefully mid and top you can fight for it a bit more. Been debating a Gragas. Interesting. Don't see too much Gragas top anymore. I think the Yorick is the better answer, no? Kind of said that it would likely be Sion and Yorick if they wanted to ban those out. They kind of split the difference. I kind of feel like JDG's ended up kind of going the halfway house on those bans. I would rather have seen Sion and Yorick or Orianna and Victor. I think doing one and the other just meant they kind of went, well, okay, I get Yorick. Okay, I get Orianna. And they don't care that much. I do get that realistically, Bin's Sion has probably been slightly more annoying than his Yorick. It's Orianna, though. Still very good, so... yeah, I think I would have rather seen a decision made rather than splitting halfway house and giving a decent option in both over. But there we go. Camera off. And we get ready for the next one. Ready for the deciding match here between JDG and BLG. Shun looks happy. Whose comp do I like better? I think BLG's. Though I don't think it's that big a difference. Aurora Vi gets quite annoying. Pays if he gets online with the Aphelios. Oh boy, he's a good Aphelios player. That scaling could be valuable. I just don't know how easy it's going to be. I think the Yorick is not going to have an answer in side lane. Not really. Maybe the Aurora, if they go towards a slightly more burny build, can get over the Dark Procession stuff. But I think early on, that Lucian Braum's going to be a nightmare. I think the Orianna Shin's out is a lot of priority through mid early on as well. And we've seen how valuable BLG puts towards priority. Definitely JDG's draft. Sam's just trolling. You like JDG's draft? I mean, it's a good draft. Well, it's a solid enough draft at the very least. I think Ambessa Vi has fallen off a bit as a combo, but it's still a very dangerous pick combo. But I think doing that into Braum Orianna can be a bit miserable. I think the Yorick is going to be an issue in side lane. And I think Elk, if Elk gets rolling on this Lucian, he can get really miserable. Alright. Did some weirdness with champs. We got some weirdness with champs. I feel like I was ready to get into the rift. I was just chilling out. Good to go. And we're just sort of sat here waiting. Awkward. I'll say hello again. Hi, folks. Champ select. Shenanigans. I like JDG if they're not behind at 14. Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, if they fall behind as turret plates are falling or even pre-20 minutes, I think it gets harder. I think BLG, best case scenario, is snowball before 14 minutes in some capacity, right? You want good turret plates, feat strength, objective stacking, something. If you don't, then you are into a Aphelios who's had a free early game and a good team fight comp with lots of pick onto something like the Lucian or the Orianna who would have a miserable time. If we get towards 14, 15 minutes and BLG have had lots of priority, I think it gets a lot harder then. Because then you're diving into the Braum and the Ori and the Xin Zhao, and the damage is going to blow up who the first target is. Maybe grub fight with Vi and Bessa. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Yeah, some of the lobby can be a bit buggy. They're still on a different client. Ah, of course they will be. I exit expansion. Looks like we're good anyway. There's the car. That probably means we're about to load on the rift. Slight issue with champ select loading into the rift nonetheless. I'll see you on the other side, folks. Get ready. Game number 3. Boom. Level 1, not too much there. Good yelling from the Jingdong Chat leader who had a microphone put nearer him this time. He was there last time as well, just further away from the mic. Anything super spicy here from Runes? Not really. PTA on the Lucian. Sometimes has other options in there. We've seen Electrocute Lucian before, particularly the last time we've seen with the Nami. Fleet Foot work on the Aphelios gives him a bit more survivability and sustain in lane. Not too much more to say about that one, though. Okay, jump on forwards. Double tap. Can't get the 4th auto off. But again, Pays at level 1 on the Aphelios has the incredible ability to switch weapons and nothing else. Oh, On's walking up. Yeah, there's another double tap. Pays can't afford to walk forwards. As long as this keeps happening, bot lane is going to be miserable. Because that is going to happen all the time. Pace hasn't run Cleanse either. He's running Ghost. Bold. There's the heal. Not back. Heal for heal. Level 2 by BLG and L. Shadow clearing towards the spot side. Is a little behind here, actually, on the clear. Yeah, he was a bit slower clearing those raptors out. Vi's going to be over here about 5 seconds earlier. Is Flash ever the changeable as well in a spellbook? Yes, I believe it is. They're all basically interchangeable. You can only start doing it post 6, worth noting. But the more you change, the faster you can do it, and the shorter the cooldown on your summons. Right, good chunking on a Scout right now. Ow. Farming, though, from Scout on the other side. Should be even up-ish here. Nice electrocute trade will make that a little more even. Again, very easy to get electrocute on Aurora. Because your Q is a 2-part. Shadow here on Scuttle Crab spawn. Second smite's used. Hang on, a double tap available. Won't go on to Wink. Decides on minions instead. Wrap around from Shadow. Looking into this bot lane. Hasn't been spotted, I don't think. Oh, they need to be so wary shoving up here. Oh, Wink. Oh, Wink. He is a very dead cow. Easy gank. And Wink Flash is all he wants. But Shadow sneaking in there. Gonna cause some problems. Winter Spike just wide, otherwise I think Pace could have been in danger that he can't get towards this wave. The wave's in an awful spot. Pace might just have to reset here. Sticking around, wants to try and do something with this next wave. Didn't really burn all that much either, did bot lane. On didn't burn any summoners at the very least. Shadow's Flash was the only thing that was costed. He's not there to need it. That is an awful, awful, awful wave state right now. Trying to use the Moonshot to get some value. Severum, Onslaught available. Wink was channeling Hex Flash. Binding Eclipse now up with a 3-weapon switch. Won't press it onto on. Wink, no Flash. Does have heal back up. But they'll know roughly the timing of that because On used his as well. Actually, no, it's not quite up. It's nearly up. I got debated by the little dark part of the hand. Shadow looked for the Wind became lightning onto Shun. Couldn't quite find it. Shun needs to be a bit wary there, but the Winter Spike going wide. Was expecting a potential backstep. Doesn't land it. X-Flash. Okay. Winter Spike again. Are you sure about this one, JDG? Are you sure about this one, JDG? Are you? JDG? This is wild. Elk doesn't have mana. Maybe that's the decision making here. Would love to get some more up. Pace with the Infernum and the Graviton running, flashing away. And actually, maybe I take it back. Elk didn't have the mana to work with at the time. And On's forced to flash and heal, but then again, so is Wink. Pace also Ghost. TP coming on in. Better than I was expecting there, but I hadn't caught Elk's resource deficit. Meant that the Lucian couldn't get as much value there as I think they were hoping for, but now with the lane swap, Pace going to be run out of lane there with the Crescendo coming down on top of them. Elk's going to head topside and pick that up. Got himself an early call. Try and spike harder in the mid game with that. His best reset ever, but hey, here we are. Chaoshu goes bot side, tries to pick up some of this wave as Yorick be as annoying as they can be. Haze and Wink at the turret here. Lots of pinging noises. Everyone's on the way. Vi, Aurora both looking. Knight was looking as well. Dirt for the Aphelios early. Does love to go collect it. Can max out lethality second on his level ups as well. He actually gets some really nasty burst in mid game. BLG up about 800 gold. Here's the grubs. He said might be an opportunity here for JDG to burn those first set of ultimates on the way into this game. On. Not there. Shadow not there either. Might fight over this second grub though, because again, Smite was used on the first one. Shun backing away. How much of a contest we're going to see about this? Aurora just TP back in. Has a mask. Boots for Knight. That's one. Do you want to stick around for the second? I think he might. Ooh, hang on, Paze. Needs to be a bit wary. Reminder, doesn't have the cleanse. Wink goes looking. Shadow flashes out. Can't land the winds, becomes lightning. Looking at Paze regardless. He's got some chakrams stacked. Need to try and let those fall off if they can. That means their second grub will be Shun's. And they get the mark towards the feats of strength. Flash on Shadow. Was the trade there. Not the best ever, it has to be said. He'll pop there from On. It is opportunity to change summoners and does so. There's the exhaust. Now look for potential all-in here. Wink's still on the heal. Plate secured by JDG though. That's good for them. Gonna hop on forward. Still gonna get onto Pace. The exhaust still available. Passive onto Wink. Lots of damage down onto the Alistair, who doesn't want to burn the ultimate. Burns his own heal. Shun now looking. Might dissuade a dive here. Aurora coming as well. On still under this turret. Where's the TP? Gets the passive down onto Shun. Gonna try and find an angle. Scout comes on up, gets the weirding down, and blows up On. That was easy. I don't think you could walk up to this Elk. BLG, what was the thought process under that dive? You left On there kind of by himself. Now they're gonna come in with Knight, trying to find the shockwave. Elk goes down, is immediately eviscerated. Horrible dive defense. 1 by 1. That was not great. Not gonna lie. Pace gets the shove under the turret, gets a plate. We switch over to the exhaust, go looking for a potential all-in. Get a chunk onto the Alistair, and then Aurora's coming, Shun's coming, and Elk backs off, but On doesn't. Then Knight turns up as Elk turns up the turret after the dive kills off On. And then Elk dies anyway. Like, very odd sequence. We might get a replay here, but I don't know what the call was there because it felt very unusual. On gets jumped on briefly. Now JDG have the gold lead. But I need a clips onto Elk. I thought the fellas was going to have a harder time. Really hasn't so far on the whole. Shadow's around. Does he want to go over the wall here? No, he does not. Bit of an engage coming on forwards now as the Glacial Fissure comes on down. Binding Eclipse buys some time. That's flash off of Paze. Significant. Dragon's up. The BLG want to go play for that. No one's taken a dragon as yet. on. Might be in danger here. Gets jumped on. Into the Vault Breaker after. Unbreakable. Stand behind me. Now Pace potentially in danger. They kill off the Brawn. Trying to jump on Wink, who's got the passive. So the ultimate running goes down to Elk. Engage onto Knight. Flash out. Is safe. Scout 6 stacks on his Dark Seal. 3-0 this Aurora. Oh boy. Could be an issue, so they say. 2 kills on Lucian at least. So there is that. 40 stacks on the Cull, though. Hilarious. He got it first, and somehow Hayes is ahead of him. A lot of farm as well for this for this. Yes, the Aphelios. And he said Lucian. Doing very well here. Invade for some wards now. Dragon was picked up by by JDG. I'm pretty sure there. Do apologize. The second one was the Cloud Dragon. Scout looking at this turret with the grubs as well. It's not gonna buy quite long. Knight didn't quite catch the wave there with his Q. Slightly awkward. Gone towards the rower build here, so looking to battle mage a bit more. At least he's got Sork Pen boots. Have a little bit more damage from the base than otherwise. Fastest rower I've ever seen. But then again, you know, in a game where JDG have actually managed to bat this early game quite well. Elk's now in danger. Needs to back away from where Shun was looking. Headbutt into the wall. Pulverize available after. Gonna try and jump at Wink, who's got the Ghost running. Shadow went looking for a bit more. Couldn't quite find it. Wink is healed. And ghosted out. He was so damn fast. Oh my days. Speedy Bull. Towards the Herald we go. BLG on it. Likely going to be first turret to JDG, though, top side. As the wave crashes on in. Scout looking for a potential angle here. Shun into the backline, onto Knight. Wink goes on in. There's the Between Worlds. Big Moonlight Vigil. Empowered by the Calibrum. By the Eclipse brings down Knight, who doesn't get the Shockwave. Scout is low. Flashes out while he was still invisible from the across the veil. Looking for a Q over the wall. Can't quite find it. The Vine now dead. Pay's looking for an auto. Can't get it. He runs out of range. Oh, man, if that moonshot had hit. Can't weave it behind people. Herald now secured by Shadow. Will immediately drive it into mid lane. JDG all the while, though, did get turret first top side, so they get the feats of strength. But that was a bit messy. It looked great at the start of it. And Scout got taken really low, and they couldn't finish the second kill. For the moment, Knight died while not being able to use Shockwave. Things were going to get tricky, but somehow at the end of it all, Elk gets another 2 kills. 4-1 now on this Lucian. Scout hopping away there, especially as like the culling got cancelled, but Elk getting to dash away. Braum passive is ridiculous, and then Shadow flashing after get the 3 Talon Strike knocker. Pace knows he's dead there. So he's like, look, can I at least take the Braum with me? Can't do it. This Ori build is less about the burst damage. It's more about how many autos can I get off. Really obnoxious in 1v1s. I think you go Leandries after this and just try and play long fights, and you become quite difficult to manage in that sense. less vulnerable to an Aurora too, but it does mean your ults are significantly less scary. Lucian is now significantly ahead of this Aphelios needed to be. Gold lead is there for BLG, but it's been back and forth. Don't know whether it'll be quite enough as yet. We'll see. Shower shoot. Looking for potential jump onto Bin here. He's got a Shun behind him, actually. Maiden of the Mist just starts sucking him up. Very annoying to play into the Maiden. We've really not seen these top laners, like, at all this game. It's kind of crazy when you're running via Ambassador. Right. It's a bit of damage there from Scout, who's up 1,000 gold himself. All those Dark Seal stacks as well, building towards a couple options second. Might well be the Riftmaker build. Really good value there, because you get, like, the Riftmaker stacks while you're waiting for your Q to recall, which gives you a lot of value there. Bin, I think, is going to be a bit of a weird thing this game, because I think the Yorick is going to be quite hard to manage in terms of lane priority in side lanes. The Ambassador has foregone boots. He's using the free ass ones and gone straight towards Shojin second. See how valuable that is for the team fight. It's going to be a lot of damage if we get that stacked. Then starts whacking the minions down towards the bot lane. Lucian at 2 items. Always a big spike. Start to look at maybe all-inning on things like Pays, especially with that mid lane turret down. Dragon instead the consideration. Second for them. Slight edge to BLG right now. You can see it's been back and forth quite a lot this game. No one's really found an out-and-out massive advantage. Still be flipped back. Going towards the Lord Dom's third is the Lucian. Probably fair, given that you are largely AD this game. You've got a lot of upgraded steel caps to manage. Elk. Now hanging around. That's Khan. Consideration for JDG Scout. Goes across the veil, but door comes on up. Doesn't find the chunk he was looking for. It is the Blood Ladder second. Felix with the Infinity Edge second now done as well. Start to really sting if you can find a big combo. He's got Severum Crescendum. They're starting this up. JDG. Do they know? BLG hanging around. Shadow's got to go. He's moving now. Trying to time this right. Heading on over. We'll know now. Down to about 3,000. He's kicked away. They've just got Atakan. He kind of knew something was up, but timed it wrong. Oh, boy. Start two-manning it and then have the Alistair. Just gatekeep the door. What's it going to cost them? Not a lot. A chunk on mid-tier 2? Half a wave? Oops. Shadow, 3 talent strike, knock up, TP's coming on through, Glacial Fissure. This could get interesting. There's no dragon to fight over. This is just violence. Pays with the Inferno Mult. Doesn't really find that much value. It's Shun. I'm trying to get into the backline. No, gets onto Elk. The Lucian gets a kill, but dies to the C's and DC's combo. Another kill to Ambessa. Turns up to a fight, gets loads of value. Scout low. About to fall tonight. Does go down. All the while, though, the Ambessa keeps rolling. Triple to that. Trying to get some more damage as Shun goes down. Last rites from Bin ensure the death. Shadow lands, the wind becomes lightning, the dark procession flash on forward, looking for the Quadra! Gets it! Needs to try and get over this wall. I think Bin, though, should claim it out. In the end, it's a bloodbath. But the top laners are the last 2 remaining, and Bin wins the honorable X 1v1. I don't know really where to start with that one. It looked great for JDG, and then BLG, and then, yeah. Shinzao and Yorick end up just about being able to bring down the Ambessa, who glided through the back end of that team fight. There's no dragon to fight over. There's no Baron to fight over. This is just river control. Jump onto Wink, but he gets that unbreakable will down there. Infernum is not that great. It's Scout over here, who starts with a great between worlds. They get onto Elk. Looks good. Problem is, Pays got tagged by the ghouls and the maiden. Can't get to the honey fruit in time. Really clutch stuff. Yorick's not the easiest champion to team fight on. All the while, though, Xiaoshu all's in while Bin's not there. And Shun does at least manage to... Well, does go down in the end, I suppose, the way to put it. And then Bin just walks at Xiaoshu, and Ambessa's burned most of her cooldowns. And Bin is really scary in the 1v1s. Not really sure where that leaves us. Mid-tier 2 did fall, so BLG, I think, on the whole, will come away with that feeling relatively happy. Elk did nothing in that team fight. The Culling did 139 damage. Not good. Fortunately, Yorick, the team fighter, did 7k. Here we go again. Pays Severin Crescendum, Onslaught onto On, who's just there by himself. What was that? Public execution in the backline onto Shadow. Tries to buy Sedai, needs to get towards that blast cone. Will not be able to do so. The culling means nothing, and they lose another. Jungle support just dead. Baron's up. BLG what? They've got Aphelios with Severin Crescendo. This will disappear. That's JDG's game now, I think. They'll get Soul Point, because Ben will pick that up on the Yorick, but how did On get caught alone in mid lane as Dragon was spawning? I have so many questions. Ben's going to try and get as many of these waves shoved as he can before Baron comes up. So, On and Elka here, and On puts a ward down. Can't get in range to stand behind me away. They were trying to do double duty. They got greedy. They were trying to get wards down around Baron as they spawned. They were trying to get the top tier 1 as well, potentially. It's greedy. They try to play both sides of the map at once and lose both sides as a result. And they knew what was going on because they had wards in the river. So JDG knew that Elk was alone. That'll be tier 1 falling, and there's a lot of structures for JDG to pick up here. Honeymoon phase might be ending here. pace Felios looking pretty damn good. This late as well. Start to get some really nasty combos with your attack speed on Calibrum Infern. Can't quite remember the exact way it works, but you can sort of get 2 crazy autos off in one moment. Alex knows the exact mechanics. Afraid I don't. Invades continue from JDG now that they have the advantage. Soul Point is still BLG's. Again, Bin picked that one up. Lucian is still relatively scary. 3 items could do a lot of work if finds the opportunity. But the scaling's kind of come on through. 3 item Ambessa, terrifying. 2.5 item Aphelios, also pretty damn scary. Scout still very terrifying as well. The shockwave comes on down though, and Shun just dies. Hang on. Pei's in danger now. Gets hit by the broad passive and goes down. Oh, JDG. It's a game of throws. Overplay their hand now. Xiaoxu was trying to turn up. Needs to TP out. Gets interrupted. Public execution of the backline onto Elm. Trying to bring him down. Flashes away. And Xiaoxu at least gets one. We'll get the tier 2 in mid lane. How the hell did Shun and Wink get caught? At least Xiaoxu spares the blushes with the back interrupted and brings down the Lucian. TPM from Aurora, but I think you just get dived here, Scout. Goes between worlds, tries to clear out the wave. Goes across the veil. Does have flash. Gets jumped on. Been looking for more flashes away. Can't hold the tier 2. Couldn't quite clear the wave. Needed another second or 2. But has delayed time here. Is there a TP angle for someone like Wink? Unlikely. Xiaoxu also doesn't have TP, so no punish on that tier 2 shove from BLG. I have no idea where this game is going anymore. None at all. All I know is it's kind of entertaining. So let's have a look at this one. They're showing on the tier 2. Shun Vault Breakers away, and then they just get the grubs on Pays. So he has to back away and Shadow with the 3 Talon Strike off the wave. Jumps onto Shun. And he just kind of dies. Pays doesn't get any auto damage down until now. Hit by the wind becomes lightning. Gets jumped on with another 3 Talon Strike. Ah, Pays gets absolutely blasted. And Xiaoxu gets interrupted by the displacement of the Dark Procession and goes, screw it. We're live. We're doing it live. Public execution of the backline. Dragon, 25 seconds. Is the game decided here? Elko's looking for a culling, and into the backline goes Shun. He's dead. Lost the jungler. Tried to get something out of value as he was picked off. Scout between worlds does get out to safety, but hit by the shockwave means he's dead. That's sold to BLG, you have to imagine. They may have just done enough there. On it. No one really contesting. Barons in a minute. JDG will try their luck there into Soul. Nice fight around the back of the dragon there. Shun caught out. Presses R to try and just go into the backline and stop something up, but they can't find anything while it happens, and he just dies. I think Scout losing his ultimate as well meant there really was no way to fight afterwards. Baron into end angle from BLG perhaps here. Considering how low some of these health bars have gone, maybe that extra amp when you're low HP could be valuable this game. Not exactly the most powerful soul of all time, but enough champions here who can use it. I think it will provide decent value. Baron being looked at. BLG just going to start it. No one really able to get in. They know it's going down. They won't be there in time. Just giving up. JDG. 2 big objectives given over in a roll. Soul and Baron. Oof. Pays with 3 items. Maybe he can do some work. He's going to try and clear out the wave. I have to switch out Severum, I think, for Calibrum. That's the onslaught down, and there is Calibrum. Trying to pick as much farm as humanly possible here. Shove through mid, TP behind, hang on, cease and desist, public execution between worlds. Shockwave on 4 does not keep everyone alive. GA broken, Elk dashes away though. They've lost the Braum, Pays in danger, has to back out. Shadow with the Crescent Guard getting some value as Xiaoshu goes down. The combo only gets the GA. Into the base goes Beard, flash for the Morning Mist. Last right, start possession, Pays is dead. The Aphelios will spend the next 200 years in a shallow grave. And Billy Gaming find the fight in mid lane, survive the combo, and will win the series 2-1. Shun with the last gasp onto the wave. But there's no more oxygen to be found. The fire is dead. It sputters out, and Jingdong Gaming, despite all the moments of glory in this game, despite how tight it was, cannot get it over the finish line. And Billy Gaming remain undefeated in series, 5-0. Bin on that Yorick. Refused to lose a team fight. Team fighting Yorick. Well. Some nice plays from Shadow in there. Elk not bad. On the other side, man, Xiaoshu tried. The scaling was coming on through, but the Aphelios just couldn't stay safe. Hey, folks. Good to see you. Oh. Yeah, not bad to go walk up to 3 Adam fails to take making much damage. I mean, wasn't that much in the way to stop them. I think they were all... When everyone all ins, there's full contact team fighting again. Okay, we've all in on our AD carry. Right, we're doing the same. They get this 4-man shockwave, which to stop them going from anywhere else, they just get the GA on L. Bam. And then you jump. The fellas couldn't do anything. Thank you, Scott, for the compliments. Honeymoon just about continues. A brief rocky period there. It's okay. Thank you, Unity. Appreciate you. Let's see who gets MVP, shall we? Someone get MVP and MVC, most valuable cast. Appreciated. So the only series say there is a second one. There is a second one. But honestly, Akashi, I've got NLC this evening. I'm already feeling not fantastic. I want to save my voice a bit. It's been a tough week in general. So I might send you over to someone else and call it here. I think just on a personal well-being front. I'd love to do some more, but and it's a great series coming. AL versus IG should be fantastic. I just don't know whether I'm up for it personally, which sucks. But is what it is. Look after myself. That's the plan. That's the plan. It's been a very long week in a lot of ways. So yeah, gonna save myself the NFC. I think probably is the way, especially because that's the one that I'm hired to do. Oh, see who gets MVP, shall we? And then I'll probably call it. Appreciate you there. Nah, of course, Karzal, not a problem. Bye-bye, Estrificase. Appreciate you guys. Right. See, that goal graph is wild. Up and down and up and down. Again, JDG never really got the goalie. But the thing is, when they get these comebacks, you're thinking, wow, look at this comp. Should be over. But in the end, like, Pays didn't do that much work. Like, he tried, but he got blasted in every team fight. Scout, good Aurora game. Knight went for the bruise rebuild on the Oriana. It's fine, I think, ish. But if you're doing that, you know, like, actually, they got away with it, right? It worked. It worked. It's not that big a deal. It meant you were a lot harder to pick by the really heavy dive combo. I honestly thought after they blew up Knight here without him getting to use Shockwave, that this early game was going to be absolutely nightmarish. But the extended fight ended up being better for BLG than I thought it would, especially because I thought, like, that culling's not great. But Shadow plays this out really well. It's nice from him. It might be Shadow MVP, honestly. I think Shadow or Bin, probably my two calls. Chinese casters both think Bin. I think that's fair. I think Bin would be my front runner, though I'd love to give an honorable mention to Shadow, basically. Roast for Xerath. Look, Xerath. The fact that the best thing you can find to do with your time is come into a stream like this, have random British brothers insult you, says a little bit about your character, doesn't it? Get help. Xerath, get help. Go find yourself a better hobby. Maybe touch some graph. Graph? Grass. Touch some graphs! Go learn maths! That's it. There's your impression. Go learn maths. Well, he redeemed it. He gets it. Go touch the graphs. Ruined the roast a bit there. Oops. Touching trig graphs right now. Ooh. There you go. Immediate reaction. No. Oops. So, let's see who the MVP is. I'm assuming Bing, guys, and then we'll send you over to other places. Always good to see you guys in the Nivea and YouTube channel. Shout out to a lot of team fights. Agreed, hands. Let's have a look. Bin. Yup, that seems very reasonable. Wicked good work. Should be Ben. That's about right. All right then, guys. I'll turn this camera off. And I'll say goodbye to YouTube. Thank you very much for coming out. Please do make sure to follow, to like, to subscribe, on the Twitch, on the Ko-fi. You can follow me. I'm at Initialise Cast. Do it from there. When is the horse game on? That will be tomorrow, doggo. Otherwise, we'll make sure it happens. But thank you so much for coming and saying hello, guys. It is much, much, much appreciated. Thank you for coming and saying hello. We will say goodbye for now. Until then, bye-bye. Boop. Boop.